Now imagine this, but like modern games, which is, we kind of have a trip to do because that's a whole, doing Fightcade stuff is easy and retro stuff is way easier probably to try to, offload this. But imagine trying to, in some way, I don't know, connecting Parsec into these cabs that are actually like, imagine a virtual TNS.
Okay, I see what you're saying, and it's very doable. I think it's very doable to some extent.
So this is actually formerly called the Arcade Time Capsule, for you 90s heads, 80s. I say 90s more because the carpet's kind of like a little bit of a giveaway. But, for those that didn't experience the arcade scene and those that want to experience it once again, actually being in an arcade, this is a really cool concept. This is a program that allows you to actually like go within a simply rendered arcade in a mall anywhere, your bowling alley, whatever. But the cool part about it is that it's like this, it's just an experience because it's very it's like, it hits all the senses. The carpet is there, everything except the smell. I think that's the only thing that's missing. The carpet's there, the lighting is there, the sound is there. So if you're like walking by a Pac-Man arcade, like you're hearing it in your right ear, but you're hearing the off, the other cabs that are running there, the Simpsons over there, you're seeing the X-Men, it's the 4-player, not the 8-player. The full 4-player cab, not the dual screen one, whatever. You're hearing it on the left side and you can actually like walk through. And the crazy part is you can interact and actually play all these games. And not even like a cop out, like, it goes full screen. Like, no, like the way it's being shown here, which by the way, the video we're showing here is from Beardo Benjo on YouTube, is the one that's showcasing this. He's just he puts his hand, where the arcade stick is at. And that's when it, like the game itself or the simulation actually just kind of recognizes that you're trying to interact with this game. So now like your controls, like you can pull out your controller for your Xbox controller, arcade stick, and it'll recognize those controller inputs and you just literally play the game there. But your line of sight stays the same. Like it doesn't, like I said, go full screen. You have to like look down at it like as if you were looking at a cab. Now imagine this, Meza. Now imagine this, but like modern games, which is, we kind of have a trip to do because that's a whole, doing Fightcade stuff is easy and retro stuff is way easier probably to try to, offload this. But imagine trying to, in some way, I don't know, connecting Parsec into these cabs that are actually like, imagine a virtual TNS.
Okay, I see what you're saying, and it's very doable. I think it's very doable to some extent. VR, I will say VR in general has expansively gotten bigger. We're seeing it more and more in just VR chat alone with how interactive you can be with someone or a world that can be created. So I wonder if with this concept, Parsec would be pretty interesting, right? It's loaded into the system as soon as you start the game, because clearly he doesn't have to do anything fancy to play the game, but he can also open up a menu to Parsec, let's say, if you want to, but it's still a PC.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's definitely way more probably involved that we're just scratching the surface on the concept of it. But like that's like really dope, because imagine an event that, not to say cancel, but maybe you can't make an event, right? Maybe let's say Frosty Faustings. There's Frosty Faustings, then there's like Frosty Faustings, I don't know, VR, where it's happening during the same event, where you can watch the same matches that are going on those same screens, but you can actually just then have a virtual experience as well if you can't make it. Like that's dope. This is just a wild concept, but this is still an incredible product. I'm really stoked about it. The emulation tools, the programming, everything that went down to just get this to work. Like you can play, OG Aliens, you can play, like I said, Simpsons, everything you can think of. And at one point, he also ends up playing Street Fighter 2, the OG original, obviously the World Warrior. Really dope.
What I'm actually, you sparked something. I just thought about it. If that was the case, because being at MagFest, they've had a lot of VR stuff there. But
I'm about to say, you were just having an experience.
Keep in mind, I can only play VR for so long. It is, you have to acclimate yourself to it. I think you have to be used to it before you're just doing some of these VRs, because some of the games are a little intense. But it made me think when you were saying like, oh, what if we're at an event? It's not. And obviously we talked about the Evo one. I think if we could make these venues in VR chat, which we've already seen been done, it could run at the same time. But let's imagine you recreate the same exact thing. But now you have people who are online roaming around. Let's say they pay $1 to get in, right? And then all proceeds go to Frosty Frostings, something like that. But what makes it super cool is like I can imagine if we have arcade setups, not even tables with the games, just arcade setups. You plug, like you just join in. It's like you put your quarter in, and next thing you know, the person beside you is also playing. And now you kind of get that same experience where you're like, I have my section. I can still look up and play, you know, while looking at what's happening on the big screen. Like, oh, you know, Justin Wong's playing Third Strike versus, you know, Daigo or something like that. And they're going at it live right then and there, but you're also getting the chance to still play your game. You know, like I love stuff because I did that at MagFest where I was like, I'm playing CVS2, but I'm looking up to the left and I'm watching people play the Crane game. You know, they're doing a tournament for that, or, you know, something else. So that to me is like the closest.
This is just gonna bring us closer to VTuber supremacy. Don't worry, it's gonna be there. Yeah. It's gonna eventually happen. I'm sorry, boys, but that would be dope. This is just a dope concept. Once again, this is the arcade. Arcade Time Capsule. Go check it out. They have an awesome Discord you can join. They have all the step-by-steps, tutorials, everything you need, support, bug reports, everything as an ongoing product. They're constantly working on it. Go check that out. Super dope concept. I can't wait to get myself a Quest 3 and actually try it.